What's the difference between acrylic beads and crystal glass beads? I'm Elena from Elencia UK and I love beading handbags with both crystal and acrylic beads. And now I'm going to show you the main difference between the two materials is of course the weight. Crystal glass, being glass, happens to be twice heavier than acrylic being plastic. So if we take the same size beads and weigh them to see the difference, you will see in a minute that this is twice heavier. So here is my little lovely scale and a little plate on it, and this has gone to 0. And here is a strand of crystal glass beads. This is 8 by 6mm diameter, faceted, dark silver, very shiny, super sparkly crystal glass beads. I'm going to put it on the scale, and it's 29 grams. And here I have a handful of acrylic beads, also 8mm in diameter, and there is 67 beads exactly. Let's see how heavy that is. 16 grams. So you can see that the two are different in weight almost twice. So that really is the main difference, which really matters when you're beading a handbag. But the other challenge that we have when we use crystal glass beads is that unfortunately the holes in the crystal glass beads are absolutely tiny. They're approximately 1mm diameter, which means that we cannot bead these beads in the same way as we do acrylic. Acrylic holes are approximately 2mm in diameter. It can be 2.5 or even 3mm. And with that, you can use a much thicker fishing line and you can do knots and you can make your bag strong that way. Crystal glass beads, you cannot use knots because if you do, you will have to use a very thin fishing line, say 0.5mm or even 0.4. And in that case, your fishing line will break because it's too thin and the beads are too heavy. And when you start putting things inside the bag, it will make it even heavier and there'll be even more pressure, more tension on that poor little thin fishing line. So you absolutely have to use a thicker fishing line, but then you can't use the knots inside the beads. No, you can't. You'll have to use crisscross technique. And I talk a lot and very extensively about this in my new tutorial on crystal glass beaded bag. Please look on my website and you will see the link to my tutorial, which is 3 hours long, where I talk a lot about the beads, about the fishing line, about the technique. And in that tutorial, we are making this gorgeous little bag. Look at this. It's absolutely stunning. Most importantly, it's very robust. It's absolutely solid. It's very strong. It's got a very thick fishing line. Okay, I will tell you a little secret. It's 0.8mm in this handbag, and these beads are 8mm by 6. Knowing the technique and knowing what to expect from your beads, you can end up with this. Again, absolutely strong and solid. Or like this, strong and solid. You can even make a much bigger handbag like this. And again, it's absolutely solid and strong. There is no enforcement inside. There is nothing inside. It's just a very strong weaving technique. Look at this. Absolutely stunning. Yet again, it's absolutely solid and robust. This is what you want to achieve when you work with crystal glass beads. Strong carcass of the bag. And I will teach you to do it in my tutorial in 3 hours. You will learn such a great deal about the beads and about the beautiful bags, how to make it relatively easily. Look at this little baby. It's absolutely tiny.